The rock garden was first opened to the public in 1932. It precedes the official opening of the Royal Botanical Gardens in 1941. Initially, the garden was all about what garden curator Jon Peter calls flower power.
Planting hundreds of thousands of tulips and ripping those out and tilling the beds, and then planting a whole bunch of annuals, ripping those out and tilling the beds, and then planting chrysanthemums in the fall. What we've done now is gotten rid of those annual beds, which was really destroying the soils in the garden, that tilling and that constant fertilizing and such. There was lots and lots of inputs going into the garden.
From 2014 to 2016, the garden was closed to the public as it underwent its first major renovation. The Visitors Center was added, and the existing water features were expanded and made more sustainable. It was also renamed the David Braley and Nancy Gordon Rock Garden for local philanthropists.
And with this new addition of the garden, where we're incorporating lots of conifers, trees, shrubs, and perennials, and perennial bulbs that are there year after year. So we're planting them once. So the inputs are a lot less than the previous garden. This garden was also redesigned to benefit pollinators and biodiversity within the garden, which is a great thing, and you can see it's actually working out here. Incorporating drought tolerance in our plantings, and even looking at global warming and how the climate's changing, and what plants can we grow effectively in this space. So it's really a new wave of gardening that we're really trying to showcase in this space. And the other big component is the native component, so plants that are native to Ontario. So we have an entire border on the west side of the garden here that are plants native to Ontario, but then we also have native species and nativars, cultivars of native plants sprinkled throughout.
Perennials are no longer cut down in the fall, adding to the landscape in the winter and simultaneously providing habitat for pollinating insects. In the spring, they are cut down and left at the base of plants, replacing mulch.
At first, I think a lot of people were missing the flower power of all those tulips being planted. But then when they saw the show of all these perennials and the seasonality of them, the tulips are blooming for 2 weeks, but these perennials are blooming from first thing in the spring right through till the first major snowfall. So there's just this progression through the season that's just amazing. And then with the debris that's left in the beds, I think it has not appealed to some people as much, but then once you educate them about why we're doing it, they jump right on board. And I think a lot of them are going home and trying it themselves, which I think is fantastic as well.
If you're looking for inspiration, the rock garden alone features 1,500 different types of plants.
The really neat things about the rock garden, because it's been around for 90 plus years with some of these first trees planted in 1930, we've got this really great effect going on of layering of these old conifers, old trees and shrubs that have been here for 90 years, underplanted with flowering shrubs and flowering trees, underplanted with perennials, underplanted with bulbs and daffodils and things like that, which creates this amazing effect through the seasons. And really, I come out here almost every day and there's something new to see, which I think is spectacular.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.